Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm Aishwarya Sophia. I'm an energy healer and an intuitive channel, and I'm here to make your spiritual journey a little bit easier. Let's talk about spirit guides. Who are spirit guides? We all have a spirit team. Our spirit teams usually consist of archangels and guardian angels, ancestors, ascended masters. Sometimes some people have their spirit animals as part of their spirit team as well. But in essence, what this team is they're a group of higher dimensional beings that are always with us, and they help us through our life lessons. As some of us may know, Earth is a school. Souls incarnate on Earth to learn certain lessons so we can refine our souls, pay off our karmic debts, and our main goal is to evolve. And this is exactly what our spirit team helps us with. All of us have a primary spirit guide who is with us from birth to death and every moment in between. We also can sometimes have a subject matter expert spirit guide who comes in for a season. For example, say you have a new job and you are put in charge of many people for the first time in your life. So you can have a spirit guide who comes in to teach you how to be a good and just leader. Another example is if you're going through a spiritual awakening, you might have a subject matter expert spirit guide come in and teach you how to handle some of your gifts that are coming online. And once you've learned that lesson or you've learned how to master your gifts, they may transition out of your life and then you might have another guide come in. Let's talk about the types of beings that can be present in our spirit team. Now, I want to preface this by saying that this is in no way a limitation. There may be many other types of beings, but I am talking mainly about the most commonly found types of guides that we have. And my goal with this is to bring awareness so we can connect with these guides. And we may find that when we connect with our own spirit team, that we might have a different type of being that I haven't mentioned, and that's completely normal and it's completely okay. Just learn to trust your intuition when you meet your guides, and I will talk about how to connect with your guides and how to make sure you're only connecting with beings of the light towards the end of this video. The first type of being that can be on your spirit team are angels or archangels. So angelic energy, as I've previously mentioned in another video, acts as the enforcer of the will of God. They act as a bridge between humans and the divine. And angels are part of our spirit team to really help us with our lessons on earth and to keep us on track. We can also have ascended masters on our spirit team. Now, ascended masters are beings who have had human incarnations. They have mastered the earth realm and completed all of their lessons on the earth realm, and they're the ones who have ascended to a higher dimensional consciousness. Now, part of their life purpose at that higher level of consciousness is to serve humanity by guiding us on our earth life lessons so that we may graduate to that higher level of consciousness as well. Another type of spirit guide is our ancestors. Now, these are some of my favorites because they really help us with more personal life lessons, like breaking generational trauma, for example. That's a big one that ancestors help with. They also come in when we're feeling especially beaten down to give us love and comfort. Think of them just like our passed on grandparents or our loving parents or siblings. And ancestral spirit guides are very powerful, and they really help us see our own patterns and what needs to be broken very clearly. Another type can be spirit animals. Now, in my experience, I have not noticed that every person has a spirit animal on their spirit team, but many people do. This is not to be confused with passed on pets that I will touch on in a minute, but spirit animals are other aspects of ourselves. So I'll use myself as an example here. So one of my spirit animals is a jaguar. And when I dug deeper and I wanted to understand why do I have a jaguar as my spirit animal, it's because I have a parallel life or a past life incarnated as a jaguar, and I have to bring in those lessons of being in your power, being strategic to this life. So specifically, when I was starting my YouTube channel, for example, I was a little bit fearful to put myself out there. And that's when I called on my jaguar for help and support to give me the strength, to give me the perspective and the courage to do this. So spirit animals are other aspects of ourselves. And if you happen to know that you have a spirit animal on your team, the reason that they're present is because there is some skill that they have within them that you can draw inspiration from to deal with your current life lessons. The most important presence on our spirit team that gets often overlooked is our own higher self. Now, our higher self, very simply put, is that higher aspect of our soul that is fully realized. It's that higher aspect of our soul that is completely one with the divine and that knows the truth of who we are, that we are all limitless beings of light. And our higher selves are always accessible to each one of us, and they are a very strong presence on our spirit team. And our higher selves, because it's connected to the divine in such an intimate way, can really give us a bird's eye view of our life and give us clarity and perspective on why we're going through a certain lesson. How can our spirit team help us, and really what is their purpose and what is their function in our lives? So our spirit team is present because we go through a lot of lessons on this earth plane. And sometimes our vision might be limited and we might not be able to see the higher perspective of things. Again, I'll use myself as an example. So last year, when I was called to quit my very well-paying corporate job and move up to the mountains and start my own business, I was very confused and apprehensive because I didn't understand why I had to quit that job and quit that lifestyle of having steady income and take such a big risk. And of course, I ended up trusting my intuition and I ended up doing it. It ended up being the best thing I ever did for myself. But at the time, I was afraid and I was apprehensive because I wasn't sure why I was being called to make this move. This is when my spirit guides stepped in and they helped me see the bigger picture. They helped me realize that being a healer and being someone who channels this divine information and shares it with the world is my life's purpose. It's my dharma. So when I understood it from that higher perspective, the move became very easy for me. I was filled with courage instead of fear, and I was filled with optimism and faith instead of doubt. So another reason that our spirit guides are here is because sometimes life's lessons get difficult and we need support. And I know that in my spiritual journey, I felt very alone because my immediate family lives 7,000 miles away. And I do have wonderful friends here, but again, most of them live a few hours away from me. So I felt very alone. I felt like I didn't have emotional support at some points, and that's when my spirit guides stepped in and they helped me. So spirit guides are really here to support us no matter what we're going through in life. It can be something very tiny or it can be something massive and major, but please know that no problem is too small for your spirit guides. They are here to help you through every one of life's decisions. And I sometimes even speak to my spirit guides about what kind of pizza should I get today? Because I'm very serious about food and I don't eat out much. So when I eat out, I want it to be perfect and I want it to hit. So I just chat with them and I'm like, should I get jalapenos and pineapples on my pizza today, or should I stick with olives? You know, it might sound so silly to someone else, but that's the kind of deeply intimate relationship I have with my spirit guides, where I consult them on anything I feel like. And my spirit guides, as like most of yours, have such a good sense of humor that they actually tell me, you know what? You've had a lot of spicy things to eat this week, so maybe skip the jalapenos. And it turns out to be the best decision, you know? So I'm telling you this because spirituality doesn't always have to be this heavy, dull, boring, drab thing. Yes, we have a lot of life lessons, but spirituality is also about the sweetness of life. It's about the little things in life. And our spirit guides completely understand that, which is why even when we need support with something really small, right? Like if you want to know what you want to wear on your first date, ask your spirit guides, just check in with them. I'm thinking about wearing this white dress or this black top, like which one, you know? Because like I said, life is about the sweetness, or spirituality is about the sweetness of things too. And our spirit guides are fully aware of that. Let's talk about how to connect with them. I want to start by saying that spirit guides are always with us. They can always hear us. So every prayer you've ever said to them, anything that you've ever said to them, they've always heard it. The problem is that we have trouble hearing them. This is because spirit guides exist in the spirit realm, which is a realm of subtle energy, right? And their vibration is much, much higher than ours. What we can do to bridge this gap is to have a spiritual practice that expands our awareness and raises our vibration so we can connect with them more easily. Now, if you already have an established spiritual practice, this connection might come about very easily for you. You might try this practice that I'm going to share with you and you might be able to make the connection on day one. But for some of you, if you don't have an established spiritual practice, it might take you a little longer. But please don't be discouraged, because this is a great starting point. To connect with your spirit guides, start by setting aside 20 minutes of your day. If you can't do 20 minutes, do at least 15, because anything below that, I feel like our mind and body doesn't have time to settle into that calm state. So let's say 15 to 20 minutes, set aside this quiet time and be in a space that is completely quiet and where you will not be interrupted. And start with some deep breaths to completely relax yourself and become very present, right? Become very anchored in this present moment when you're doing this. Don't worry about the laundry that needs to be done. Don't worry about picking up the kids. Just allow yourself this time and let it be all about you and your connection with your guides. So as you take a few deep breaths, sit in a meditative state, or try to get into a meditative state. And as you're continuing breathing and you get into a calm meditative state, allow your heart chakra to completely open up, right? You can do this by just taking deep breaths and visualizing your heart field, which is green in color. Visualize it being fully clear and completely expanded. Or you can also do this by using certain affirmations like, I love myself, I trust myself and my spirit guides, I trust all the beauty and the grace that life has to offer to me. Anything that gives your heart comfort and helps you open up will do. You can also do this by using heart chakra crystals. So either clear quartz or any green crystal will do the job. all you have to do is hold the crystal in your left hand, because our left side is our receptive side. So hold it in your left hand and just visualize that heart chakra opening up. So we connect to our spirit guides mainly through our heart chakra and our crown chakra. So next, you want to visualize your crown chakra, which is this beautiful white light opening up and emanating and expanding. And if we have seen any kind of art where these saints or angels have a white halo around their head, that's a completely open and expanded crown chakra. So imagine something like that and imagine your crown chakra expanding. Once you do this, hold this vibration and set an intention. Now, our intention is one of the most powerful tools that we have. An intention can really help guide and direct your energy towards your intended outcome. So how the intention I set when I want to connect with my guides is, I intend to connect with benevolent beings and those of the highest light. We say this so that we only connect with beings of light and no one else. Now, the next thing, once you set that intention, is to invoke your guides. Now, you can invoke your guides by simply saying, "Thank you, my angels and spirit guides, for being here with me now and connecting with me in an easy and clear way." Now, these are just examples of the words that I use. Please use what I say as the basis to form your own invocation and your own intention. Now, usually after you invoke your guides, they make themselves known. Now, if you have a well-developed third eye, you'll see them as a vision in this meditative state. If your clair audience is your strongest clair sense, you might hear them, or they might make their presence known through sound. But most frequently, I found that most people, their clair sentience or your clair feeling is the most well developed. In this case, once you invoke your spirit guides, you feel them. It's the same as if you have your back turned towards the wall and you're working, and someone that you love and someone that you know well walks into the room, and if they're standing behind you, and even if they don't make a sound, you feel them, you sense that they're there. So it's the same feeling with spirit guides. When you feel that they are there, acknowledge their presence by thanking them for being there. And then if this is your first time meeting your spirit guides, you can ask them, "What may I call you?" Now, we don't ask them, "What is your name?" because spirit guides are not limited by time and space. So when you ask them, "What is your name?" they exist in 22 dimensions at once, and they're confused as to which name to give you. So if you ask them, "What may I call you?" they'll give you a name that they prefer to be called. The name is the key to access any being's consciousness. So once you receive this name, please remember it, and no worries if you forget about it. They'll give you the name again, but try to remember it and thank them for being there, right? Thank them for honoring your request to connect with them and showing up for you. And once you're done with this, really sit in gratitude for a few minutes that you were able to experience this, that you were able to experience your spirit guides and have this deep connection with them. Once you do this, you should be approaching the end of the 15-minute mark. Just quietly sit there for another few minutes, and then you can come back to this moment and open your eyes. And once this is done, I want you to really observe the subtle energetic shift that you've experienced. Because what you've just done is you've created this connection between you and your spirit team. Now, mind you, this connection has always existed, but you, with this act of invoking them, have really brought this connection to your conscious awareness. So you will most likely feel a subtle energetic shift. Feel into that. And the one other thing I will say is spirit guides might come in and communicate with you as you're doing this exercise. But even if, so whether they come in or not, what ends up happening is you've opened the gates to communication now. So your spirit guides are always going to communicate with you. Now, it might be through signs and synchronicities. It might be through little nudges you receive or little hits of intuition that you receive to do a certain thing, to call a certain friend, to go to a certain place. So I really want you to be mindful of all of these signs and synchronicities and this gut feeling that you get, and really take note of them, because this is most likely your spirit guides trying to communicate with you. So you've made the connection now. How do you stay connected, and how do you continue to foster this beautiful relationship with spirit guides? So just like with any other relationship, I think that it's very important to build your relationship with your spirit guides. Yes, they have been with you since the day you were born, but think of it this way, right? Because they have seen you grow and they've always heard you and they've always known of your presence, they know you very well, but you don't know them very well. So to fix the one-sided nature of this relationship, I would suggest that you continue to get to know your spirit guides. Once you establish contact with them, you can ask your guides, what are you here to help me with? How can you help me be better at XYZ, right? Ask them questions and develop that connection and develop a deeper bond with them. You can deepen this bond with your spirit guides by establishing a spiritual routine, specifically by developing a daily meditation practice. Now, as most of you know, I go on about meditation all the time because it's just so good for your soul on every level. Meditation not only helps you ground into yourself and your being, it also helps you stay in that calm and expanded state of awareness. Staying in this state is what helps you continue to develop that relationship with your spirit guides and continue to have that clear connection with them. The next thing is to always have gratitude for them. Every sign, every synchronicity that you come across, thank your angels. Thank them for showing you that feather, for showing you that white bird. For whatever it is that they show you, thank them and acknowledge the sign. This shows your spirit guides that you are grateful for the signs, which means you like them, and that you're seeing these signs and understanding them. So when you thank them and you say, thank you for showing me the sign, guides, they understand, oh, she likes that, let's do more of it. So gratitude is everything. Anytime you're grateful for something, you invite more of it into your life. So gratitude is, I have found, one of the best ways to not only connect with your spirit guides, but to sustain that connection. Also, journaling is a great practice. What happens, like I said, is once you connect with the spirit guides, you've opened the lines of communication. So they start communicating with you in a host of different ways. So what you can do, especially when you're newer to this practice, is you can journal every night before going to bed, and it does not have to be 6 pages. It can just be 1 page, but you can write down all the ways that you feel your spirit guides connected with you, all of the signs and synchronicities that they showed you, any downloads that you received, anything of that nature. What happens when you do this is, as you progress on your spiritual path, you might want to look back on how you started and connect the larger picture, right? Connect the dots, and the larger picture of your spiritual journey will make more sense. Most importantly, please be grounded in this moment and be grounded in joy. Enjoy your life. Have fun. Like I was saying earlier, we are led to believe that the spiritual journey always has to be about pain and healing. No, it's equal parts about joy and fun. Part of the reason that we incarnated as humans is to have fun. It's to really enjoy this life. I mean, look outside, look at nature, look at how playful the bees are, look at how playful the trees are with the wind, right? So we are meant to live a life of joy. And the best and most profound spiritual experience is to experience that joy on a daily basis. So if there's nothing else that you have time to do from the things that I've mentioned, just grounding yourself in the present moment and being so grateful for everything that you have can be the most potent way to stay connected with your spirit guides. If you need help connecting with your spirit guides on a deeper level, reach out to me, check out my website. You can book an energy healing session with me where I clear out your 7 physical chakras and your 4 etheric chakras, and I can help you activate that connection with your spirit guides on a deeper level. Check out my Etsy shop if you want some fun readings. And I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it helpful. Leave any questions you may have for me. And don't forget to check out the description box where I have a few useful links, a couple guided meditations, and other useful information. Thank you for being here with me. Thank you for spending this time with me. And I will see you in my next one. Namaste.